year is 1944. Europe is a fortress, and the Allied forces are gathering in southern England for Operation Overlord. But the success of the invasion doesn't just depend on ships and tanks. It depends on a lie. Enter Joan Puig-Garcia. To the Germans, he is Alaric, their most productive spy in Britain, managing a network of 27 subagents. To the British MI5, he is Garbo, the crown jewel of the double-cross system. Puig's job is simple but terrifying. Convince Adolf Hitler that the D-Day landings will happen at the Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. If the Germans believe him, they will keep their panzer divisions away from the real beaches. If they doubt him for a single second, the thousands of men hid in the sand on June 6th will be walking into a slaughter. While Puig is the mastermind, the Garbo network includes a colorful and often volatile cast. One of the most critical figures is Elvira Chodawar, a Peruvian socialite living in London. She is a double agent in her own right, used to confirm the false information Puig is feeding the aware German intelligence. Elvira is glamorous, a frequent gambler, and deeply homesick. Unlike the stoic Puig, Elvira is harder for MI5 to control. Her handlers, specifically the meticulous officers of Section B1A, are constantly on edge. She lives a high-profile life that attracts attention, the exact opposite of what a spy needs. But Elvira has a companion that she loves more than the mission, a small spaniel named Babs. The tension peaks in early 1944. The aware is becoming suspicious. They haven't seen enough hard evidence of the troop buildups Puig has promised. To bolster her credibility, MI5 decides to send Elvira to neutral Lisbon to meet her German handler face-to-face. This is a make-or-break meeting. She is carrying the final pieces of a deception puzzle. However, there is a problem. British wartime travel regulations are strict. No pets allowed on the flight. Elvira is told she must leave Babs behind. She refuses. She pleads, she argues, and eventually, she attempts to smuggle the dog. When she is caught and forced to board the plane to Lisbon alone, she doesn't just get angry. She becomes a liability. Upon landing in Lisbon, Elvira is distraught. In a moment of emotional crisis, she begins to talk. She tells friends and potentially German contacts that she hates the British, that they are cruel, and that she is finished with her work. Back in London, the 20 Committee goes into full-blown panic. If Elvira defects or tells the Germans she's been working for MI5 out of spite for her dog, the entire Garbo network is compromised. If Alaric Puig is outed as a fraud, the Germans will realize the Ghost Army in Kent is a fake. They will move their 15th Army to Normandy. The D-Day invasion, still weeks away, is suddenly standing on the edge of a knife. The script follows the frantic behind-the-scenes maneuvers. MI5 officers have to decide. Do they retire Elvira permanently? Do they try to bribe her? In the end, they realize the only way to save D-Day is to save the dog. The British intelligence machine, the same one planning the liberation of Europe, diverts resources to find a way to get Babs the Spaniel to Lisbon, or at least convince Elvira that the dog is being treated like royalty in a luxury kennel. The crisis is eventually managed through a combination of flattery, financial promises, and updates on Babs's well-being. Elvira regains her composure, delivers the false intel to the Germans, and returns to London. The lie holds. On June 6th, 1944, as the ramps drop on the beaches of Normandy, the German High Command is still looking toward Pas-de-Calais, convinced by Puig and Elvira that Normandy is a mere diversion. We conclude with a reflection on the absurdity of history. The fate of Western democracy and the lives of hundreds of thousands of soldiers once rested on the temperament of a socialite and the whereabouts of a small dog. Joan Puig-Garcia would go on to be the only person to receive both the Iron Cross from Germany and the MBE from Britain. Babs the Spaniel faded into history, unaware she was the most dangerous dog in the world.